What's good? This is Mac from House of Footy. In this video, we're covering the two groups that are wrapping up on December the 2nd. But if you'd like to go back and to listen to all our failed predictions from the last couple of round of games, just follow the link in our description to our Spotify channel, and you'll be able to get the full episode right there. Otherwise, of course, please stay with us on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. But now to the goods. Welcome back to House of Footy, and we're continuing our coverage of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And to continue our coverage, we're going to be starting off with Group G. And in this group, the last round of fixtures for the second round was Brazil winning 1-0 against Switzerland, and the highest scoring game outside, of course, Spain. Oh, Spain. Whoa, Jesus.
It's late, guys. It's late, guys. It's late.
With my pronunciation, I'm feeling the Spain without the S, Anyway, and of course, Spain beating 7-0. This would be the second highest goal scoring game, with Cameroon and Serbia tying 3-3. This does tee up a couple of interesting round of fixtures. Brazil, of course, have put themselves in position to qualify for the round of 16 already. However, both Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon still have a shot to be able to go through themselves. Switzerland are facing Serbia, and Serbia needs a win to really secure an opportunity to be able to go through. And Cameroon facing Brazil also need a win to have an opportunity to put themselves through. So a lot can change depending on what happens, as well as, of course, as Ray highlighted in our notes, that if Brazil puts out a B squad, which they're fully capable of doing and still having a chance to win, that could put Cameroon in maybe a little bit more of a favorable position than we would first think. So I guess, Gio, to toss this up to you, do you want to start with the goal fest of Cameroon-Serbia? Some amazing goals, a lot of opportunities. Ray's boy Mitrovic with a goal but a missed opportunity at the beginning of the game.
No. Let's talk about that. See, Serbia could have came out with a win, and I'm sad they didn't, because I do really want to see them move on, because I think they're one of the teams that can give, one of these bigger nations a lot of trouble, just with their overall feistiness. But yeah, no, very entertaining game. I think if there was one game, neutrals would have loved would have been this one, because it was a game of many goals and a game of a great comeback from Cameroon. So I think Serbia would. I think Serbia is secretly kind of almost kicking themselves, letting a big opportunity slip in this one, having a 2-goal cushion. But they do say a 3-1 lead is the worst lead you can have in sports.
Any 2-goal. The saying is the 2-goal lead is the worst.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So to have that, I think they did feel a little too comfortable and kind of backed off, and it kind of showed in their play. They weren't sort of sending any type of long balls. They were playing more compact. But it kind of and it eventually bit them in the ass, and they only ended up getting a draw here. So yeah, no, tough for Serbia.
Completely agree, because Serbia, they were in a position, if they did pick up all the points against Cameroon, to be at 4 points, then of course being ahead of Switzerland, assuming that you would know that Brazil would beat Switzerland. I think we're all on the same page there for that. But that would put them in a position where they just don't have to lose and they would still go through, right? But now they need to come out against Switzerland and come out with the win. In regards to the game against Cameroon, what I'm highlighting is Mitrovic in the first half had 2 or 3 opportunities, really easy opportunities, where if he was wearing a Fulham shirt underneath that jersey, you could easily sit and put those away, and you wouldn't have been surprised if he had done so. But with those missed opportunities, even though he did end up scoring later, as well as Milinkovic-Savic, in the added time, 2 goals for Serbia in the added time of the first half, and then another one to start off really the second half. It gave still Cameroon enough wiggle room where 2 times they beat the offside trap that Serbia were trying to set up. Very poor defensive lines both times around. But I do want to start off. Did you this Cameroonian second goal, Vincent Aboubakar, that chip? I think that might have been the most delicate loft in terms of where he really just got to bend down, pick a piece of grass, toss up there, check the wind. He had so much time because Serbia at that point had thought it would have been called offside, but he was able to just chip it loftily. It was kind of like I was watching the PGA Tour. It was a perfect dink right into the top, the other side of the net. So it was. I do want to give a shout out to that goal, and it was
absolutely disgusting. Yes. No, that was disgusting.
And then the other guarantee of life is that suddenly for no reason whatsoever, Choupo-Moting is going to score a goal. But this time he starts the game, which is a little bit weird for him at the same time. He's more that you've seen him historically as that super sub for either like PSG or Bayern Munich to come out and score a goal. But I think he might have had the easiest job as well with that second goal, where
Yeah.
once again Cameroon break that press and get through that back line trying to set an offside trap and get an easy tap in. So Serbia really just let it slip through their fingers. So I guess to be able to tee it up though, going into the final match day, because I know we didn't touch on Brazil, Switzerland. I think we're both in agreement. I understand Brazil just edged that, but we all saw it coming. Casemiro, phenomenal goal. I know I rag on him a lot, more than both you and Ray would like, but give him credit when he scores a goal like that. So I will shut up for now until he pulls out a poor performance again.
Yeah.
But I guess to be able to talk about that, how do you feel like Switzerland and Serbia will turn out? Do you see Switzerland, of course, they just need a tie to be able to guarantee themselves, really, to be able to put them through to the next round? Do you see Serbia being able to break them down and score a couple more goals? What are your expectations?
I wholeheartedly believe Serbia will beat Switzerland in their last game. Just because, if I'm Serbia, I'm bombing it forward just as hard as anybody else. Switzerland's offense hasn't really been anything. Like even today against Brazil, 6 shots, 0 on target. It just they had no offense going forward. They had Jay Rodriguez trying to create, but Jay Rodriguez isn't your creative player. And then obviously with the great tactical fouls that Fred and Casemiro committed on Embolo just for sake of breaking rhythm. They did a fantastic job of that too. So I think Serbia, being as aggressive as they are and as physical as they are, should take notes of that and translate that into that game. And I think they'll have just as many opportunities as Brazil had. Obviously, Brazil had a lot of opportunities to put away goals, but I think with Mitrovic, with a game on the line, my money's on him. So, and with obviously Dusan Vlahovic, I wholeheartedly would put my money on Serbia to take this game, and quite comfortably as well.
Ooh, I think that's a hot take. I do. Switzerland defensively are very, very strong. The back four of Rodriguez, Alveli, Akanji, and Widmer, sorry. They perform very, very well, and that matchup of Mitrovic versus Akanji, I think, will be fascinating. The twist will be I'll be very curious to see because Dusan Vlahovic, he doesn't start actually for Serbia. So I'll be interested to see, does he get a starting nod ahead of Tadic or Milinkovic Savic to start off with an attacking duo striker up top? I doubt it, but I think that could be an interesting show given the fact that they do need to score. But I do feel like this does set up Embolo, who he's for these last couple of years now, is especially in the Euros, he was highlighted as potentially a up and coming star, right? Where most of his work has been on the counter for his club team and in Switzerland as well. If he's going to get shine in a type of game like this may be where he sneaks in and could steal the show, or maybe getting a goal on Serbia when they're trying to be able to press up, trying to be able to create an opportunity. If he's able to get in behind, similar to Cameroon, I think that would be very interesting. So I personally am going to go with a tie in this game, and that will be just enough to see Switzerland through because I do have faith in the Akanji, Jan Sommer, and the King, who will always ever be in my heart, Granit Xhaka, to take them and lead them through, Gio. So I'm all in on Switzerland coming out with the tie here. That's as deep as I'm going. But I think that's going to wrap up our coverage for Group G, given that we've kind of given our expectations there. And no disrespect to Cameroon, but you'll lose not just against Brazil's B team, but probably their D team. So it's okay. Don't worry. No shame in that. But now let's move on to your favorite group, Gio. Let's be real here, okay?
My favorite group.
So the last round of games ended up being Portugal winning 2-0 in Uruguay, which actually played on our day of recording, so earlier today on Thursday. And South Korea losing 3-2 to Ghana. This puts Ghana facing Uruguay, and either one potentially, if they win, can secure themselves through. Portugal are the third team to have automatic qualification to the round of 16. Still not guaranteed first place, though. and they are playing South Korea at one point. South Korea do need a little bit of help. They need a tie between no, they could go with either team winning, but they need to score enough goals to have better goal difference than Ghana or Uruguay to put themselves through to the round of 16. Or if Ghana win, they're through. Or if Uruguay, again, similarly to South Korea, they need to win and still have better goal difference or hope that South Korea doesn't pick up a win. So a lot of things can change. And similar to the Brazil structure, in terms of what we talked about, do Portugal put more of a B squad out there or find another A squad and start Rafael Leao for the first game finally for this tournament? So a lot can change, but I guess for you, what are I know, but I do want to make sure that we start off. I want to save the Ghana Uruguay banter for later. Let's end our predictions with that. I think that's what we really want to talk about majority. Let's get the other shit done, okay, Gio?
Okay.
So with phrasing that, what are your takeaways for, I guess, from the last round of games to potentially set up this next round? Maybe let's focus more so on the Portugal South Korea game. Do you think because South Korea's got a shot?
I don't think we'd see that big of a collapse from Portugal. Whether they start a B team or whether they start Leao with the A team, I just don't see it happening. I think they've been quite sound. Obviously, very fortunate as well. They've the post has saved them a few times against Uruguay. I think the biggest bane to Uruguay's existence has been the post and the crossbar this tournament. But yeah, no, I just don't see that big of a collapse. I still do feel like a lot of Korea's offense does almost their nation almost has that Messi effect where they're looking for Son to try and create. But they actually played way better when they weren't looking for Son as the main option going forward when they were crossing balls in against Ghana, which were two fantastic goals. So yeah, I think when the teams are more proactive, and I bring that up again because I find Portugal is doing a great job of it. That they're being more proactive, not always rely on Cristiano Ronaldo to create. They have Bruno, they have Bernardo Silva, with Joao Felix that they're very comfortable with, that they're very confident in. That's when you as a team start to get going and then use that stardom or that star player as almost like as a decoy, and then let them do their thing because they're going to generate their opportunities. You don't have to worry about too much of them, but everybody else has to get going. And although I don't think they will do that, I still just don't think we'll see that big of a collapse from Portugal.
I would tend to agree with you. So here's I'll take that individual game. Portugal, having won 2-0, Bruno Fernandes scoring both goals against Uruguay. Great performance for large portions of the game. They were weak, in my opinion, for maybe 10-15 minutes after Ruben Neves come off and did look a little exposed, and Uruguay could have got back into the game. But they quickly adjusted and they moved stuff around, and they look again more like the dominant team. I do want to start off though. Ronaldo didn't touch it. I don't know what he's talking about.
He did not. He did not.
Relax. You scored enough goals. Okay, you don't need to fight for every single one. Be a good team builder. Anyway, not important.
He did not.
South Korea though, their game against Ghana, I thought they were the much much better team. They had 64% possession, 22 shots, 7 on target. And I want to give a huge shout out because what you highlighted is the Messi effect, where a lot of the Ghanaian players were so focused on Son. The left back, Kim Jin-soo, if you went through and put his crosses, I wanted like a full tactical profile because my guy was bombarding down that left-hand side, lumping balls into the box for Cho, who actually ended up scoring both goals for South Korea. And I was shocked. There wasn't actually a couple other goals coming from them. They created a lot of opportunities, so I was very impressed with them. So I would not be surprised if South Korea do come out and pull up more of a shocking result here. I think they have enough quality to do so, especially on the counter. And especially, I'm going to repeat again, if Portugal are playing a weaker side. Because if you take Cancelo off on that right back spot, or even if you keep him on, to be honest, that side can be very, very much exposed against a duo of Son and Kim Jin-soo. So I like that matchup for them. However, on the other side, if Portugal come out and dominate this game and kind of just like never have it in doubt, which they are fully capable of doing so, I think this will really solidify them as being a threat to not just have a good tournament, but potentially go all the way. Because that's a mature performance that you're looking for from a squad that can win a World Cup. Where, yeah,
Yes.
we're through, but we're still here to dominate. We're still here to be able to make sure that we're going to close out the other games, that we're going to keep the ball. Maybe we score a couple of goals, but at the end of the day, we're keeping our team healthy, fit, and happy to go into that knockout stage to really start a damage, right? So that can be very dangerous. So on the other side, though, like I said, I don't completely shut out South Korea. And personally, on a personal note, South Korea, ever since kind of, I think it's what was it, the '06 World Cup where they made that run, or was that the '02? I forgot. They made that deep run.
O two, O two, O two.
'02. Ever since then,
Yeah.
they kind of always had like a little place in my heart. Like, oh, I want you guys to do well. But recent run of form at the World Cup hasn't been the greatest for them, because they have won other last 11 matches at the World Cup. So drawing 3, losing 7. So I want to see something good out for them, at least some more positive, because I don't know what that Ghanaian coach was doing, taking a selfie with the crying song. That's memeable, but that's a douchebag move in my opinion. But now let's go to the real sauce, Gio. This is the game that, let's be real here, ever since these group stages were drawn up, that we knew it was going to come down to this, where either Ghana or Uruguay were going to go through, and I can hear the Knan, the South Africa World Cup. I can hear the song in my head playing. I'm excited. I'm feeling the vibes. I'm going to give you an over under here, Gio.
Okay.
Of yellow cards.
Mm-hmm.
For this match, 6.5. Are you going to go
Over?
Sorry. You went over really quick?
Over. There
you think it's like, are we hitting double digits for this match? What do you think? What's going to happen here?
I'm saying 8. I'm saying 8 cards. 8 cards are going to be handed out.
Is that 7 for Uruguay and 1 for Ghana, or is that 7 for Ghana and 1 for Uruguay? Because they could go either way.
I'm gonna say 4 for Uruguay.
And 4
and 3 for Ghana.
Yeah.
Sorry. 4 and 4. But no, I just think this is so far. If you're a soccer fan, based off the history of things, this is the game of the tournament so far. Just based on sheer antics, the sheer possibility of antics and banter that can come along with this game is important. And to anybody who doesn't know, it was just search up 2010 World Cup, Ghana versus Uruguay, Luis Suarez handball, and the rest is history. Again, to preface this game, I think I said in the last one, would it be a shock if Ghana moved on? And you kind of brushed it off. And I still think it's a possibility. I still have belief in Ghana. Again, Kudus has been phenomenal for them. Just getting into those crevices, sneaky positions, winning the balls in the air. I think he's just been such a driving force and such great energy for that team. And it shows, when they do take him off, there is a dip in that level of energy. And it really frustrates me when I watch Ghana, is because when they play with the lead, they almost don't know how to kill a game. And I know they're strong and physical. They can take it to the corner, but even late in the game against Korea, they wouldn't do it. I just don't understand. I just don't understand if Otto, their coach, really knows how to kill a game or knows how to instruct players to kill a game, because they weren't really looking like they were gonna kill the game. But again, to go back to what you said about them, is that they can get really exposed on a counterattack. Now, do I think Uruguay's offense can cause that trouble? I do think they can cause that trouble. I think they've been very unlucky this tournament to not score at all. Again, the post and the crossbar has been the bane of their existence this tournament, and I just think they will score this game. It'll be a lot of back and forth, because I do think Kudus will have another big game, and I don't think Uruguay's defense is able to almost contain the speed and sort of the agility of the Ghanaian attacking, including Williams, who is very sneaky. as you guys can tell by the Portugal game where he almost snuck up and did the Jose Alvarado. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be a huge and very back and forth game that is going to be very entertaining. So to all of you listening, please take the day off.
Oh, well, for you, you're very fortunate. You got the day off already, so that was great planning from Gio on your behalf.
Oh, great planning, great planning.
I see what you're saying though with the Ghanaian team is that for me, it's like they're very excitable. Where even when they're up, they're chasing that next goal, chasing that next opportunity to an extent, because maybe they don't feel as comfortable and technical on the ball to be able to retain possession and kill the game out. Where they want to be able to push and still create that separation, but you have to
Mhm.
know at certain times where you want to shut up shop and slow things down, relax, go through the motions, right? And just try to be able to keep things simple where they're not able to do that as much. I think that could be very interesting against a Uruguayan team, which I think let's be fair to say is going to be experienced, composed, and comfortable. They're going to know the pressures, but they have a lot of players that have been there, done that. Rodrigo Bentancur is a phenomenal player, plays with Tottenham, has been in a lot of tough matches. Federico Valverde, a player who you absolutely love and adore, has seen every big stage, and
That's my
those are
guy.
two of the younger players. To be real here,
Yeah.
where you not talk about Godin, not talk about either Suarez or Cavani starting, who have seen everything. So I think they'll be very composed. And for me, they're the favorites going into this match. I would be surprised, in all honesty, that they don't win, because I do feel like they have that quality to be able to finally break through. For me, they were unlucky against Portugal, especially early in the second half, to not get a goal through Bentancur. Diego Costa made a brilliant save. Came in
Hmm.
very quickly off his line, and if he scores that, that's a very different game. And we're looking at this Uruguayan team very differently at the moment. So I feel like they just need that first one to go through, and they may be off to the races. Who it may come from, anyone's guess. Does Nunez finally get on the score sheet? Because right now he's kind of still been a bull in a china shop, just aggressive, throwing his body around. And I want to ask you, knowing the history of this, and I want to preface this: in the
Yeah.
first game, Suarez started. In the second game, Cavani started. If he doesn't start Suarez, do we all just go on Twitter and yell at the Uruguayan manager for not, giving us a good time, or do you think it's better that Suarez may come on late and score a late goal? What? As a soccer fan, as a football fan, as a lover of all things World Cup, what would you prefer to have happen here?
Obviously, I think it would be. I would want him to start, just to start, the antics and get the blood boiling a little early on. But I think it would actually benefit Ghana as a team for him to come off the bench. I think they have to put sort of 2010 in the rearview mirror and leave it there and know that this is a different team and they can still exploit this team. So they need to come out with their heads screwed on right and ready to win this game. Obviously, the best way to prove a point is by the score sheet. So if they win and they move on, they're into the next round. And guess what? Uruguay isn't. So I think it's very important that whether he starts or not, that they stay very level headed. But I personally don't think he will start. But I would hope for him to start just for the antics to see how Ghana will react almost.
And just for the last little bit of chaos to happen in what has been a wonderful group stage of the 2022 World Cup, right? I think that's all we're looking for. But I think that's going to wrap up our coverage for today. If you like what you heard, please like and subscribe on our social medias. And that's, again, at House of _ Footy. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general answer, get in touch with us at houseoffooty@hotmail.com. And again, on the YouTubes, like, subscribe, do the thing. You all know what's good. The next time you'll be hearing us will actually be after all the round 3 games have been played. So we're pushing our podcast a little bit later just to be able to make sure we can get in all the takes from the last round of games, as well as setting up the knockout rounds. So that would actually end up being next Saturday. Other one, I want to say thank you from me, and I appreciate you, Gio.
Thank you. Ghana's making it through.
Okay, he just has the hot takes and saving all the way for the end of the podcast. I see how it is. But that's it from us. Peace.